Oh, hi there. It's Tuesday and it is early. It's very early for me, and I had just a small, very early appointment, and I'm back, and I'm not happy with my Tsume. I'm not happy with my end games lately, and I thought I was gonna do some Tsumeshogi work before I go on my walk and begin my day. Um, but I figured, well, if I'm going to do that, maybe I'll stream it anyway. Get some stream in today. I said that I wasn't going to be able to, and that's mostly the case because the day is pretty full for me. This weekend, this entire holiday week. I've got my coffee. I've got my Tsume Shogi problems here, and if anyone wants to come and hang out, that would be great. So that is it. I'm going to start here. Problem with 37. This is where I left off last time. And let's see if I can get my board vision back. So the first time I hit this problem set and streamed it, it was very slow. Second time I was tearing through it, and now we'll see how slower not my brain is today. As I was waiting for my appointment, I was doing some Shogi mates, and I wasn't seeing the board so well, especially with bishops. And this problem starts with a horse, so let's see. We're closing in on the sides. We're closing in on the left and right. We've got a silver. We've got the token. So I need to... What do I need to do? And this silver here for a reason. They've got every piece, of course. Thinking about looking at gold drop 5-1, but no, because the king can take, and then I have no real... Wait, no. Wait. Gold takes, or gold drop 5-1, king takes, silver drop 5-2, gold cannot take because the gold is pinned. So the king has to go to 6-2, and then the king is out. So can we reverse that in any way? Silver drop 5-2 to start. Gold can take now. Gold can take. Okay, how about silver drop 3-2? Silver drop 3-2. If the king takes, horse 2-3 is going to lead to mate. So if the gold takes, horse 5-1 is going to lead to mate. If the king runs to 5-1, so there's the tricky one. Oh, if the king runs to 5-1, then gold drop 5-2. Okay. Yeah, that's a cool one. Abusing that pin. Nice. That was problem 37. And I might as well put this into the chat, put this link in there. It's in the YouTube show notes, but I'll still put it into the YouTube chat. And let's move on. Number 38. Oh, tight. I'm immediately thinking about gold drop 1-2, but that doesn't seem... Gold drop 1-2, pawn takes. Yeah, that's not. Pawn takes. Pawn takes ends it. Silver takes 2-2 is just king takes, and it's out. So the only other thing is pawn 3-1 promote. King can't take, of course, because gold drop on 3-2. So silver has to take. Silver has to take, then the pawn drop 2-2, and silver has to take, and then gold drop 3-2. Okay. Yeah. So it's one of those problems where we try to get the piece out of our way. All right, moving on to 39. We have 2 horses, 3 knights on the board, 2 of which are theirs, a lance. Wow. So, dropping the silver, knight takes. I can bring the horse in, but the other knight takes. And this silver is here for some reason, for some mysterious reason. I'm looking at horse 1-8 now. Horse 1-8. King has to take. King doesn't have to take. No, king doesn't have. Yes, king does have to take. Yeah, because if the knight takes, then silver drop 2-6 is mate. So wait, no, it's not. No, it's not because the horse is not watching it. Okay, hold on now. Oof. So this is the kind of vision that and maybe this is just an always thing, and maybe it's not just today, like in the Shogi problems. The bishops, the way the bishops and cover squares. In this case, it's a little easier because they're horses. All right, how about horse takes 2-8? Horse take. Now I'm my brain is sort of cheating, thinking about what this silver can do. Why this silver would be there. So horse takes 2-8, king takes, horse 3-7. No. Silver 3-7, because the lance would take the horse. Silver 3-7. No, and then the king can just run to 3-9. Silver 1-8. What are the ways to check? What are the ways to check? It's silver 1-8. It's horse 1-8, and it is either horse to 2-7, or horse takes 2-8, or horse takes 2-6. I think those are the only ways. No, horse 1-6 too. Okay, so there are many ways to make this first check. So horse 1-6 is looking great now that I've seen that. Now that I've iterated through, I think, all the ways to check, I think horse 1-6 is looking great. Horse 1-6, king takes, silver 2-7, king 1-7, silver 1-8. Wait, no, king can't take. Wait, king. No, 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 no. Okay, hold on. Hold on again. Okay. So horse 1/6. King cannot take that because my knight is protecting it. Horse 1/6. King has to take 2/8. Horse 1/6. King 2/8. Horse from 1/6 to 2/7. King 3/9. Well, no. So I guess horse 1/6, king 2/8, horse from 3/6 to 2/7. No, that's taking too long. That's taking too long. Horse 1/6, king 2 takes 2/8, silver 3, silver 3/6, 3/7, king 3/9. No, so that's not it. Hmm. Very difficult. I am struggling. I am struggling mightily. Horse 1/6. Hey Rico, nice to see you. You've already done these. You've already done these. I'm on problem 39. I'm just struggling today. I was doing some Shogi problems while I was waiting for an appointment early this morning, and I was struggling, and I'm continuing to struggle. My end game, you know, it has ups and downs, and my end game is definitely at a down these days. And so I think I need to I really think I need to do something to tune it up. At least get it a slightly better. Daniel DeGard, hello, hello. These are made in 5. Um, Still hung up on 1/6, on horse 1/6. If I drop silver 1/8 first, knight takes. No. No. Knight takes. And I can't do my 1/6 horse. So that's even fewer pieces on the board now. How do I shift this king? Hmm. One eight. One 1/8 horse. Or no, uh No, because then the knight can just take. So if I just go 1/8 horse, the knight can just take. And if I drop a silver... Oh, that's what the silver's for. Wait, so horse 1/8. Okay, so horse 1/8. If king takes, I was going to say silver drop 2/9. What was I thinking? And so I had something going in my head, and that wasn't it. My line was horse takes. If knight takes, silver drop 2/6. King has to take. Horse 1/6 would be mate in that line, but king. Wait, no. Okay, wait. Silver drop. Knight takes. Horse 2/6. So silver drop 2/8. Knight has to take. Horse takes 2/6. King has to take because now he can't run to 1/8. And then horse 1/6 is mate. Okay. So it's here, take, over, take, mate. All right. That one took me a long time. That one definitely took me a long. Rico's on the 10 stream streak. Nice. All right. I will try to remember that it's Nightwalker. I will try. Make no promises. Gold. King takes. Token. King runs. Bishop. 3-1. Okay. Yeah, pretty easy one. So that was 40. Let's go. Let's 41. Moving to 41. How many are in there? 53. There are 53. Okay. So hopefully I can finish these in an hour or so. What do we have? We have So I'm looking at knight drop 1/5. So knight drop 1/5. If the king runs to 3-2, then I just gold drop on 4-2. If the pawn takes, then horse 1-4. King has to take. Gold drop 2-4. If king takes 1-3, it's just gold drop on 2-3. And that's it. Okay, use this pawn to nuke the running square for the against the gold drop. Okay, so 42. We have 2 pieces in hand. It's going to be, because they only have bishops, and bishops are terrible defenders. It's going to be Dragon 2-2. I'm telling you, it's going to be Dragon 2-2. I just need to prove it now in my head. So Dragon 2-2. If bishop takes, then it's knight drop 2-3. King takes, it's gold drop 3-3. King has to run to 1-1. Knight drop 2-3. Yeah. Yeah. And bishops are not great defenders. Okay, problem 43. Problem 43. All right, so we need to lure the king over. Silver 2-4, king 1-4, silver 1-5. If king takes 1-5, it's dragon 2-5 mate. If the king runs up to 1-3, then it's dragon 2-4 mate. All right. All right. Problem 44. Wow, we've got 2 silvers. Interesting. Interesting. Token 4-1 is the key. Token 4-1, king cannot take because silver dropped 4-2. So the silver has to take to 4-1. Then we drop the silver on 4-2, which forces the silver to take 4-2. And then we drop the silver on 3-2. Another one of those problems to get rid of a piece that's in the way. All right. Problem 45. Problem 45. They've got a horse defending on 1-5. We've got a bishop. We've got... What do we have? Okay, so this is going to be dragon 2-3. I just need to read it out. There are not many options. Dragon 2-3, king has to take, horse 2-2, king, wherever the king runs, either to 2-3 or to 2-4, or either to 2-4 or to 1-4, horse back to 1-3 mates. Yeah, so it's funny how some of these are so obvious, sort of to my eyes, and some of them take me many minutes. I think the more wide open the board is, the more difficulty I have in visualizing it. Like this one might be a tough one for me. It's a lot of wide open space. Or not. Wait. Gold 1-7? No, because the king can run to 3-6. Yeah, the running to 3-6. So we need to cover 3-6. We need to cover 3-6. Can we just move our gold to 3-7 to start? Gold 3-7. King has to go to 2-5. And then where's our sack? Do we have a sack? Hmm. How about gold 2-7? Gold 2-7. No, token can just take. The token can just take. Mm. What's the magic here? What's the magic here? Dragon takes 1/6 is not going to be it. The king can just keep running. Gold 3/7. It seems like this is going to be too obvious, but I'm still going to look at it because it would be the first thing that comes into my mind at the over the board. Gold 3/7. Gold moves to 3/7. King has to go to 2/2 or 2/5. So gold 1/7, just gold drop 1/7 doesn't work. How about gold 3/7, king 2/5, knight 1/7. Token has to take. Gold drop 1/5. Okay, there it is. There it is. Wait, no, token does not have to. Token doesn't have to take. Horse can take, but if that's the case, then we drop the gold on 3/6, and that's mate. All right, all right. That one took a while. 47. 47. We have no pieces in hand. We've got a token on 2/1. We've got to check. So how do we check here so that we can get our dragon in? Horse 3/2. Horse 3/2, similar to that other problem. Horse 3/2. King takes. Bishop 3/1, promote. Where if king goes to 3/3 or to 2/3, then horse 2/2 is going to be mate. And if the king runs to 1/2, then it's just 1/1. Bishop promote, back down the other way. I like those shapes. Problem 48. 48. Silver 2/5. Silver 2/5. Pawn takes. Dragon takes. Rook takes. Promotes to dragon. King 1/3. Bishop 2/2 promote. But he doesn't have to take. He can run. So silver drop 2/5. King runs to 1/3. King runs to 1/3. Now we're talking. What's the silver 2/5? King runs to 1/3. The rook is not. The rook is not in danger. because the bishop is guarding it. But what are we going to do? Hmm. Hmm. So I think, I mean, the only meaningful ways to mate, I think, are silver 2-3 and silver 2-5. The bishop cannot check. The only other way is the dragon sacrificing itself by either 2-3, 1-2, or 2-5, or 2-4. And I'm just, those seem to all immediately end. If takes 2-4, silver can take, and there's no meaningful checks. Um, so silver 2-5. There's got to be something with silver 2-5. Silver 2-5, king 1-3. Silver takes 2-4, and I don't see it. I don't see it. So what about silver 2-3? Silver 2-3, king 1-3. Wait a minute. Silver 2-3, king 1-3. No, no, no. I was trying to. In my mind, I had gotten a lance. I was able to take a lance. Um, silver 2-5, king 1-3. Boy, this one can't be so hard. I'm fundamentally just being dumb here, I think. Just to explore the other checks. Rook 1-2 promote, lance takes. And that's it. Silver 2-3, king 1-3, silver 1-2 promote. Silver 1-3, or silver 2-3. Silver 2-3. King 1-3. Silver 2-3. King 1-3. Silver 1-2 promote, then the king just goes to 1-4 again. Silver 1-3, king, silver 2-3, king 1-3. Rook 1-2 promote. Lance takes, bishop 2-2 promote is mate. Silver 2-3, king 1-3, rook 1-2 promote. Lance takes, Lance has to take, bishop 2-2 promote. Okay. That's a weird one. That's a weird one. Something's off about that one. That's a weird one. That's playing on the weird something. Okay. Oh boy. Knight 1-3 promote, king 1-5. Knight 1-3 promote, king 1-5. Promoted knight 1-4. If king 1-6, gold drop 2-7. If king takes, gold drop 2-5. Okay. Back on track. Problem 50. Problem 50. Wow, we've got a horse, we've got a rook on the board, we got a rook in hand, we got a token on the board. So we just need to find how to check. I don't think it's going to be getting the one gap. The rook, I'm going to guess it's not the rook, the one gap. So rook 1, like rook 1-4, gold drop 1-3, and I have not a great way to check, because if I bring my horse in, then silver takes 2-3, and I don't. No, I do. Hold on. So, but then I wouldn't use the rook in my hand. So rook, no, rook, no. That is not. It's not a promote. It's not a promote. Rook, if rook takes 1-4, it does not promote. Drop a gold. Not drop a. Yeah. If I do rook 1-4, they drop gold 1-3. I can't bring the bishop out, the horse, because the silver can just take it. So horse, rook drop 1-3. King can't take because rook takes 1-4 as mate. So rook 1-3, silver takes. Rook 3-2 promote. Can just drop anything. And my horse is now blocked. So that's not going to be good. So I think so horse 2-3 is kind of interesting. So horse 2-3, if silver takes, no, then the silver is watching. If the silver, then the silver is watching. Hey, Tulip, nice to see you. Slowly going through more Tsume problems. I am really, I'm really. My end game is at its local minima at this point. Horse 2-3, silver takes. The pulling over of the rook doesn't work by dropping on 2-2. So where are we again? Where are we again? Rook 1-3. Silver takes. Oh, okay. So rook drop 1-3, silver takes, horse 4-2 or 4-3. King has to take, and then rook 3-2 promote cuts everything off. Okay. That's an interesting one. That's why this pawn is back here. All right. You're pretty bad at the artistic Tsume, but quite good at finding it in game comparatively. Yeah, I don't think I'm good at either. So that's my problem. Like if I could say that I'm good in the games, I could at least convince myself of something. But I think I'm bad in the games, and I think I'm bad in the artistic. The thing that I'm really bad at, though, is still the breaking down of the castles, or it's still Yose. Like, I think mate. I don't think I'm of the players at my level that I play. I don't think I'm much worse at mate, especially if I'm playing off stream. Like, I don't think I'm much worse at mate at Tsume. I don't think I'm even that much worse at Hishi than people at around my level. But I think it's sort of Yose that I'm very bad at. So it's tough. I think I am usually much better at the opening than opponents at my level. I'm about the same, I think, about the same Tsume and Hishi, but really bad Yose. And so that's why I think I'm dropping. Yose, yeah. I think it's just spelled in English WOSE, but it's endgame. I am using it to mean endgame that is not necessarily Hishi and Tsume. So it's the endgame portion. You know, my dragon, the promoted pieces. You know, they're major pieces promoted in each other's territory. And so it's attacking the king. You know, it's surrounding the king or breaking the castle or getting them to drop all their pieces to make a castle and then going to the edge attack. You know, stuff like that. It's the act of the act of winning the game. That is when it's not just the obvious. When it's not just Hishi and Tsume. I hope I'm using the term right. I think I am. This is a weird one. Oh boy, sorry. Sorry. This is a weird one. I don't necessarily mean converting the game into a win. I just mean playing the end game. Just playing the end game. Whether or not it's converting a win, or if it's trying to get a win in an equal end game, or it's trying to prevent the opponent from getting into a Hishi or Tsume. It's just an end game. End game. A lot of crazy end games are still equal, according to the engine, but it's very easy to make mistakes. So Rook 3-6. Rook 3-6. The bishop can't take. I don't think. Because bishop 4-4 does not promote. Okay, so my bishop getting to 4-4 does not promote. So that's a key. That's a key. That is a key. Bishop 1-3. Bishop 1-3 just seems like mate, right? Bishop 1-3. The king can only move to 4-5. And then bishop 4-6 promote. Is mate. What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? Oh, I don't have a bishop in hand. That's what I'm missing. I don't have a bishop in hand. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. One of those days. One of those days. All right. So silver 4-2. There's silver 4-4. Summoning a bishop would be useful. Yeah, I think that'd be a nice game. That would be a nice game. I don't like the fact that this knight is here. I don't like the fact that this knight is here because it tells me something is amiss. The thing is, even if I come over here and he takes, I take with the rook. It's a double check, but I'm not promoted, so the king can still run to 5-5. King can run to 5-5. Bishop comes up. King runs to 6-4. I've got a hangnail. This is going to be annoying. What about rook? Rook 6-6. Rook 6-6, exposing the check. Rook 6-6. King 4-5. Knight 3-7. King 5-5. Bishop 4-4. Okay, so 6-6, which guards this, the sixth rank. King 4-5. Knight jump. King can't come down here because the rook is guarding it. King can't come up here or here because of the silver. So king has to run to 5-5. And then bishop 4-4. And the knight is guarding 4-5. Okay. There we go. All right. All right. Those are my those wide open problems are my real bane. Silver 3-2, no promote. King takes. Gold drop. Gold drop. 3-3. No. No, he has a bishop watching that square. So how can I even check? So I have very few checks. Horse 2-4. King can just take. Horse 1-3. King can just take. So the horse moves are out of the picture. Gold 3-3. Bishop takes is well, no, gold 3-3. Bishop takes, pawn takes, promotes. Pawn takes and promotes. King 1-2. Okay, so gold drop 3-3, bishop takes, pawn takes, promotes, king 1-2. And there ends the checks. There ends the bishop drop won't do anything. Gold 1-3. Lance takes. Pawn 3-3 promote. Bishop has to take. Horse. Pawn 3-3 promote. Bishop takes. It seems like it's too pedestrian a move for this to be. But anyway, pawn 3-3 promote. Bishop takes. Horse 3-4. King 1-3. And now what? And now what? The bishop their bishop is still defending 2-4, so I can't just drop a gold there. So pawn 3-3, bishop takes, silver takes, or silver 3-4. King 1-2. So desu ne. Okay, so what are our other checks? What are our other checks? Gold drop 2-4. Bishop takes. There's nothing after. Silver 3-2. King takes. Gold 3-3. Bishop takes. Pawn takes. King takes. And I just have a bishop. And that's more than 5. All right. It's got to be this token then. It's got to be. It's got to be the token. There's just nothing else. There's just nothing else. Is there a way to block off this 1-2 square? Oh, no. Okay, so block off the 1-3 square. So gold drop 1-3. Gold drop 1-3 to prepare it. Gold drop 1-3. Lance takes. Pawn promote. Wait, no. So gold drop 1-3. Lance takes. Pawn promote. Pawn promote. Pawn promote. There we go. Pawn promote. Bishop takes. Gold drop 1-3. Lance has to take. Lance has to take. Horse 2-3-4. Okay, so move order. Move order is critical there. We can't give the king enough time to run. A lesson on move orders. Exactly. Hey, Benjamin Shuitt, great to see you. Great to see you. Hope you're having a good week. I haven't seen you playing on 81 Dojo or anything lately. Hope things have been going well. I'm trying to recapture some of my limited calculation and endgame calculation here. Bishop 4-1. If they block, it's gold drop 1-3. Bishop 4-1. If they run, it's horse 1-3. Yeah, so this is easy. All right. Okay, so that's the end of this problem set. That's the end of this problem set. Oh, you've been into Mahjong lately. Oh no. Oh no. Not you. Not you too. Not you too. Ah. Mahjong captures too many shogi players. You know, what is it? What is it? Is it like what is it that pulls the Mahjong players away from shogi? Is shogi not exciting enough? Or is it just too stressful? Like what is it? It's the luck. Yeah, like I love backgammon. Like I've said, I think backgammon is the most fun game. And you can play anyone. It doesn't matter how good you are. You can be the world champion and you could still have a fun game against somebody. And they could still beat you. They could still beat you. Yeah, shogi has no well, I still think that shogi has luck. I definitely think that shogi has luck. It's a different kind of luck, but like if you play a certain opening, you get to a position, sometimes you'll see a tactic, sometimes your opponent will see a tactic. It's like sometimes the opponent will make moves that they don't even know. Sometimes you or your opponent, and not you personally, like sometimes a shogi player or their opponent will make moves that will be right, but for the wrong reasons. The thing is, it's definitely possible in shogi to make lots of moves that you don't understand that just luckily worked together to create a mating web or created something else. I think it's the same kind of I think it's a slightly different kind of luck, but I think it's still luck. It's sometimes people will just be like, oh, they'll just drop pieces back, or they'll just I think you can get outplayed in shogi a lot and still win. The other person could just have a brain fart. The other person can get bored because they're crushing they're crushing you so much. It's just like there are a lot of I think there are a lot of ways for shogi to have luck. You say you have to win by playing better moves. Well, the same thing. You technically you have to win. You have to win in backgammon or in mahjong. You have to win by playing better moves. Like that's still a feature of games that have luck. You still have to play better moves. You still have to play good moves, not necessarily better than your opponent's moves, but like what is a better move? Is it a better move if you didn't realize that it's actually a bad move? So I think that's the thing in shogi. I think worse moves win also. I think worse moves definitely win also. Worse moves that are maybe just hyper aggressive, or worse moves that bore the opponent and the opponent just decides to try to end the game instead of taking 10 moves to end the game, they try to end the game in one move. Um, so I am on this high horse, not high horse, but I am not going to let go. I'm like a dog in this argument. I am not going to let go of the argument that Shogi has luck, potentially a lot of luck, especially as at the lower levels, like the lower levels that I reside in. Um, anyone could. Shogi is so volatile that someone who is much, much, much worse than their opponent can win the game. Similar to what I was saying, the feature of the chance games is that everyone can compete. Um, I think the gap is much larger in the other games. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but one could argue that the person who made the worst move is a loser. The bad move is only as good as your opponent makes an even worse move. Well, that's the thing. It's like it's not worse. It's worse, but it's like it's an oversight. Like Nifu. Like Nifu. Would you say that someone who won by Nifu is the better player? I'd say no. I would say no. Like, would you say that someone was dead lost for the first 100 moves and just throwing their pieces up the board, and the other person just like gets bored and starts throwing their pieces away? Would you say that person's better? I don't. Yeah, I don't know. You say they made better moves. I just don't. I don't think so. I don't agree. I don't agree. If you don't know why your move is if they're bad moves, but the opponent just had so many but the opponent was so spoiled for choice that they just thought themselves into a corner and made a dumb move. That to me, that's not like, that's luck. To me, that's part of what I call luck. That's part of what I am calling luck. Is that if you if you lose a game for 100 moves and you give your opponent so many ways to mate you that that they overthink themselves and essentially just give up a piece. Say they just think themselves into a corner. Their mind is so full of the 10 mating lines that they can choose that they choose one of the very few that aren't mating line. I think that's luck. I think that's luck. It's a different kind of luck. But I think it's a frustrating aspect of shogi is that, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I think about it. You say only for lower dan. Maybe you just want to have something new. You're not allowed to have something new. When you're as good in shogi as you are, you're not allowed to have something new. You should be playing shogi. The idea is you have complete agency, even if it's too much to handle, which it is. Makes it feel quite different. Yeah, it definitely feels so I'd agree with that. It feels quite different, and I would argue that it feels much less fun. It feels much less fun than the games that have luck. So it's like, when you're playing a lower level player in shogi, it's a no-win game. It's a no-win game because they'll just you'll beat them up. Maybe they'll flail around, and then maybe you'll get bored, and then you're gonna lose to them, and then you're gonna feel bad. But if this is like a luck game, you could always be doing your best, and it's still interesting, and if you lose, you lose. It's luck. Like I don't think it's satisfying. I don't think it's satisfying I don't think it's as satisfying to lose by the shogi luck, or as satisfying to win by the shogi luck. Like the games that I know I'm losing, and I set up a little trap and I get a mate at the end. Eh, eh, eh. Like maybe that just makes me a bad shogi player, but like I don't enjoy those. It's like, oh, I got him. I tricked him. You know, my like the very first game, that I ever won. So I've told this story about when the 8-year-old kid from Japan was at the East Bay Shogi Club, and he was much better than I was. But I always wanted to win. I wanted to win so bad, and I had told his mom that, like, if I ever win, I want his autograph. And anyway, he beat me. But one game, he was crushing me. He was beating me pretty bad. He was beating me pretty bad. My king was wide open. He had stuff attacking, but I had badly dropped. I had made a dumb bishop drop earlier in the game. Earlier in the game, I made this dumb bishop drop. So it happened to be looking at this one diagonal. And as he's going in to mate me, all of a sudden, I realize that there's a goal that I have got a mate in 1. And so, he left a mate in 1 open. But like, I mean, I took the win. I'm glad they took the win, and it felt good to win. But like, in my mind, I didn't win that game. I got a win. Like I didn't win that game. I got crushed, and my opponent was bored of beating me, or was just kind of on autopilot after the game was so badly over. He was on autopilot, so he overlooked. He overlooked something. And I think that's the thing, is that like those games, they don't feel very satisfying to win, and they feel terrible to lose. You were beating a kid at 8-piece handicap and then moved while you were in check. It was rather funny. Oh yeah, leaving your king in check. Yeah. And you lose, and then the kid starts bragging about beating you or something. Yeah. I'm going to switch to a new problem collection. I've got a few more minutes. So Tsume in 5. I'll switch to 2 of 5 here. So we're on problem 1. They got quite excited, so it was worth it. Yeah, so they got quite excited, and then you're lying in bed at night, unable to sleep, just stressing about this loss. And then they come to the club the next week, and they start telling you the moves that you should be making. And they're like, well, I beat you. All right, so what are we doing here? What we've got moves. Yeah, you can always blame it on the luck on Mahjong. That's the thing. With backgammon too, you can always blame the luck. It's nice. And I did, back when I was playing backgammon, way back when, I did make a little app that would get it would pull the games, like the Kifus essentially, and do game analysis. And it was called, this app was called Vindicator. And it published the results to a web page. It was called Vindicator, and it was, the whole point of this program was to show that I was getting bad beats, and it was true. It did vindicate me. I had a huge streak of bad luck in these games, and I felt good. Gold drop, king runs, silver drop. That's a mate in 3. Wait, that's a mate in 3. So wait, what's going on here? This is a mate in 3. Gold drop. Oh no, it's not a mate in 3 because the bishop is guarding. Gold drop, king runs. You kind of only want to blame yourself for bad things happening. You find it unsatisfying if you can't actively work on something. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But that's the thing. Even in the games of luck, you always can those games like backgammon and mahjong. You're not. I mean, unless you're the greatest player in the world, you're not making perfect moves all the time. So just because there's luck doesn't mean you don't have agency. Just because there's luck doesn't mean that you can't improve, and especially long term. Where a lot of these games, it's one game is something, but it's the long term that really matters. I think you could argue the same about shogi too, but one game, losing one game, that doesn't matter so much. Silver drop 1-3, king takes. No. Silver drop. Silver drop. Silver takes. Gold drop. King 1-3. You say it's probably a shortcoming of your own mentality that leads you to not like the randomness. It's a shortcoming of my own that makes me dislike what I perceive as the randomness in shogi. That kind of thing. So I think it's everyone has things that their brains are geared for, I guess. Like the hashtag just resign stuff with me. It's certainly a limiting factor in my shogi where after the game, I perceive the game to be over, I sort of become bored by it. And as the opponent continues to flail around or whatever, it's not interesting to me anymore for whatever reason. And the reason I think is that like the game switches from a game. The game switches from like once I'm winning the game, the stakes change. It no longer becomes a win or lose. Now it just becomes a win. A lose. Because the game is already won. So it's like the only thing you can do is lose. And I think that mindset is really bad for shogi. Because you have to, the opponent can just be annoying for a long time and you just have to stick with it. You just have to grit your teeth and bear it. And like taking a shot every piece they take. Yeah. I think, if if there is ever a reason that I stop playing shogi, I think that might be one of them. It's possible that I will never overcome that dislike of that factor in shogi. It's not necessarily a fault in the game, but it's sometimes not what I'm looking for. I don't like having to play another 50 moves in a game where all I can do is lose. I think it's the same reason. I think it's the same sort of thing for handicap games, but like, I don't know. I would not say it applies to chess as much. I would say it does apply, but I don't think it applies to chess at the incredibly annoying level that it does in shogi. Because it's harder to come back in chess. It's easier to simplify the game. It's harder in chess to just be annoying. Like shogi, in shogi players, after they're dead lost, they can still be very annoying. They can just be annoying. And if you're not like 1000% on your game, you could still lose. As the person winning a game. And we've had these conversations, and it's a me problem. It's definitely a me problem. But I think it is sort of, it's the balance. It's the game balance. And I think the game is balanced a little bit too much in shogi to allowing people to just keep making moves. To be annoying. When we're in that balance, when we're talking about fun, like when we're talking about what I perceive as fun. I think chess a lot of times it's just move on to the next game, and I think I think I like that mentality, that sort of thing a little more. It's so unfun for you to play a lost game. You mean in chess? You say whereas in shogi that's very hard. It's very hard to achieve a position that's not fun for you. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't think it's enough fun from the winning side. I just don't. Like that's the thing. And it's just, obviously I love the game and I play it every day. But I do think I think it just allows too much creativity at the end. Because the game is too complicated. The game is so complex that I think it leads to unsatisfying losses and unsatisfying wins. Like it's one thing to turn games around, and it's another thing to turn around completely lost games. And where you've been outplayed for 90 moves. You've been outplayed. It's like you outplay your opponent for 90 moves, and then all of a sudden you just make one mistake in the end game, and all of a sudden there it goes. There it goes. Oh, I definitely think chess wins by material are satisfying. Yeah, I like. I like that. Building a plan, solidifying your position, taking over the opponent's pieces, and basically inducing a resign. I think that's incredibly satisfying. Not that I'm a chess player. Yeah, I just don't agree with you. I think this is just the basis of our sort of our different feelings. Is that I don't think you fought hard the whole way. I don't think that at all. If you win a game in shogi, that doesn't mean you fought hard the whole way. It means your opponent made the last blunder sometimes. It could mean you fought terribly the whole way, but your opponent got bored of you. But your opponent got bored of you, and they fell into a mate because they were just trying to win the game. So I don't think it's, I think I have plenty of unsatisfying wins in shogi and plenty of unsatisfying losses in shogi. Like cripplingly unsatisfying losses in shogi that I just don't have in other games. Rico, you had a game on Shogi Wars today that could have gone from overwhelming victory to crushing defeat, but your opponent missed the one square he had to run to. You still have to earn it after the blunder. Sometimes, but not really. Not really. That's the thing, is that sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't. Especially like I'm thinking of situations where you outplay your opponent, you get the material advantage, you get the speed advantage, you've got mate, or you've got like some way to finish it off. And so the opponent starts flailing, so you ignore some moves because you know the opponent doesn't have enough speed. You know that you have enough speed. And then you misestimate by a move or something like that. I don't know. That's fair, Tulip. In any game, winning on a blunder feels bad. Yeah. But I think in shogi, it's more pronounced. Especially because you can't draw. But also because it almost... So many of those one move blunders that lead to complete turnarounds in shogi, they're just complete. They're like, oh boy, it's just like, oh, I fell into this trap, or oh, this happened. Like it for me anyway. A lot of them don't feel satisfying. But like if you get outplayed in chess, or like when I get outplayed in shogi by a better player, and they just grind me down and they beat me, that feels great. It's a satisfying loss. It's a satisfying loss. But like if I'm crushing somebody, for the entire game, and I make a couple slow moves in Yose, or I blunder my piece. I blunder one of my pieces as I'm attacking because I'm spoiled for there's so many mates on the board, and I have to pick one in my time. It's like there's so many mates on the board, and I've got to pick one of them. But like because of time or whatever, I thought myself into a circle, and I made the wrong move, and now I'm dead lost. Like that I don't like. Yeah. I guess maybe it's because I don't like playing for tricks. And that's what shogi a lot of times feels like when you're lost. When you're lost. Yeah, that idea of just if I hold on long enough, I can win by my opponent's blunder. Like I don't think it's as satisfying. Like I agree that it's something. I just well, that's the thing is, I think sometimes in shogi it would be nice, like just resign, play another game. And that's the thing is, why should you bother continuing? Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't just accept your loss and play another game. And I think it's about like how long the games need to be. And I have said in the past, like I think chess games are the perfect time, like are the perfect time for the number of moves per game. I think chess is somewhere in that perfect area. Shogi is a little too many moves, and Go is just way too many moves. To me, as a game, thinking about a satisfying, fun game, you know, a lot of this discussion came from the word fun, and so you know, it's about, you know, what is fun, because we were also talking. I don't know if you were here. We were also talking about mahjong, because Benjamin Shuit has moved to mahjong. You say chess has a number of good moves, but you don't like how many moves are endgame moves that you find way less interesting. That's fair. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, people that enjoy the end game certainly have an advantage there in chess, because it's, you know, it's an important part of it. But you always can just resign. Yeah, the intensity cranks up the closer you get to the end, but other games end games are a wind down. Yeah. Yaki Emo, hello, hello. Good to see you. Oh, you don't even like converting your end games? So that's, to me that's what a lot of these shogi end games feel like. They don't feel intense to me. They don't feel intense. They just, a lot of them feel like chess end games, where it's like, okay, well, now I need to be perfect. Now I need to be perfect. Otherwise, all this work I've done for the past 75 moves is going to go down the toilet. All this work I've done to outplay my opponent, to get the better position, to get the material advantage, you know, to essentially get the win. All this work that I've done for the past hour in playing these 75, you know, 75 or 90 moves. Now I need to be perfect. Otherwise, you know, so it feels the same. They don't feel, I think they both feel intense to me. Chess and shogi both feel intense to me. I would say that shogi just feels more chaotic because it's more random. Shogi almost feels more stressful in a way because it's so much chaos, which admittedly, you know, is for some people very fun. You know, and of course, you know, obviously I play shogi. I love shogi. And, you know, I'm not I'm sort of I'm trying to play both sides of the argument in some way. You know, I'm not playing chess. You know, I am playing shogi. You know, I don't play chess. But yeah. Yeah, it's stuff that I just like thinking about. It really is. You put it well. It's like, you know, it's not. You know, in my own brain, it might be an argument, myself and myself, but it's not like an argument. It's like a just trying to. I'm trying to when I'm speaking in a lot of these things, I think I'm trying to come to terms with what I actually think, and I don't know what I actually think. You know, I have ideas and I have thoughts about what I think, but I don't really, you know, I don't have concrete decisions made about any of this stuff. You know, it's sometimes it's like this whole thing. It's, you know, why do I not perceive this as fun as a game that has in explicit luck to it versus shogi, where you know, shogi might just be like an implicit luck. I would call, yeah, if I'm going to start coining terms, I would say, you know, poker, backgammon, mahjong, they have explicit luck. Games like shogi have implicit luck. Firebird Lion, hello. Welcome. Can't tell what that emoji is. Is that a cat coming out of a box? Our cat today, the little changes, it's amazing how the little changes in life circumstances deal with cats or impact cats. Like I've said, my son is in town now for the holiday weekend, and Atari pooped on the bed this morning. She just, she hasn't done that in a long time. And it's just like, is it because of the change? It seems like it must be, but who knows? Anyway, I think that is like, I said it was going to be a short stream today. I think that's going to be it for me today. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm glad I did finish that problem set. So that was good. Hopefully I get better at the end game. The discussion was great, if only to make me sort of try to come to terms with especially the past couple days. I've had a bunch of games where I'm just not finishing the game. And they're just so unsatisfying. It's so unsatisfying to play a great game and then to just not finish it. And I think I need to figure out what I'm going to do. I need to figure out what I'm going to do about it. And well, this Tsume is some of what I'm trying to do about it. Is just trying to get better at parts of the end game. But I think a lot of it is also just trying to get better at the mental aspect of it. Or just accepting Shogi's a long game. Shogi's a long game. It doesn't matter if you're winning after 75 moves. Maybe you're going to have to play 125 moves. And I have to decide in my brain, is that a game I want to keep playing, or is it not a game I want to keep playing? Do I want to keep playing a game where I'm winning this game, but my opponents can just try to outlast, they can just try to outlast me for 50 minutes, or for Shogi Wars they can try to outlast me by time, and I think that's when I stop playing 10-minute games, is when I'm getting into too many winning positions and that my opponent just starts throwing pieces back, and then they try to win on time, and then they succeed, and then they succeed again, and that's when I say, okay, well, I'm done with 10-minute games for a while, because that's it. Yeah, I really hope they are. By the way, let's I wanted to bring this up. Shogi Quest. I don't know how is this going to show. Let me see if I can. Give me a second here. Give me a second. I'm not sure if this is Shogi Quest. Okay, well this is Shogi Quest. This is a Shogi Quest scene, but ignore the text. But look at this. Play. Oh, is it only on mobile? Hold on. Maybe I didn't update my device. Maybe I didn't update this app. They had 20-second Byoyomi games. They have these limited time games. Oh, it must only be certain times of the day. Maybe it's only during Japanese prime time. They had a schedule. I just saw it this morning, where there's a certain amount of time where you could do 20-second Byoyomi. And then after that, they had a time where you could play 5+5, presumably Fisher. So Shogi Quest continues to be the most freaking annoying app that I think that there is, because there's so much promise in it. What? And there's no way for me to seem to find it. But anyway, when you went into play, there was a special button. This went down. There was a special button, and it said, 20 seconds, 20-second, whatever. It was not in these goofy, ornate button style. It was in another button style. I mean, because Shogi Quest, why would they ever use anything consistent in this cracked out UI? But they also had like a button to click the schedule, and it showed, I think, the time for these other games. And it was alternating, if I remember correctly. I should have taken a screenshot. It was alternating between 20-second and then what they called 5+5, which I think must have been Fisher. But like, how do we... Where's the news? Where's the news? This is not it. They don't have news. So disappointing. So I was thinking I might, even though I don't like playing on the Shogi Quest app, like there's something about the look of their app when I'm playing on the board, I don't like it so much. But I was thinking, they add these great time controls. I think it'd be nice to mix this into the stream. But if they're not going to make those time controls available 24 hours, then I guess I'm out of luck on that. Just bizarre. The decisions that the Shogi Quest people make are they're inscrutable sometimes. Yeah, that 5+5 Fisher on Shogi Wars, that would be it for me. That's all I need. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would still enjoy playing slower time controls, but my main time would be that 5+5. So much better than 10-minute Kiramake. So anyway, on that disappointing Shogi Quest note, I will say thank you. I will see you. Hopefully I'll be able to stream tomorrow. Again, it's all up in the air with family in here and the holidays. So I will see you later. Thank you for the discussion. Thanks for everything. I will see you soon. Bye.